eyes twinkle. Microphone check. Let's get it straight out the gate. Microphone check. 1, 2. What is this? The No Hidden Agenda with that podcast business. It's your boy Cash, a.k.a. Uncle Cash, a.k.a. your side chick's favorite uncle. Welcome to episode 96. As always, you can catch this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Today, the team is a little 2-on-2, more like 1-on-1 basketball.
Yeah,
exactly. So
doing
welcome.
the pick and rolls today.
Yeah, pick and roll, bro. Give and go.
You only know, give and go to the basket.
Exactly, bro. Keep it simple. Old school basketball. Pick a spot, pass it out. Keep it moving.
Get your spot. Yeah. Get your shot on.
Make it up, man. Make it happen. Yeah. So the voice you are hearing for the first time, listeners, is the homie who came up with the podcast idea. Homies for the love of the podcast. Before I introduce him, as always, I'm going to acknowledge the man who makes sure we got the best sounding podcast in the game. Shout out to Tubby, aka Tubby DX Don. And today, the homie at Van_T Teaser. It's a long weekend. He's traveled to be with family. One love, homie. Traveling mercies. Enjoy time with family. That's always a blessing, We're going to do the things. We're going to hold y'all down, So it's the first time, as we approach episode 100, doing something a little different,
Yep.
Two homies holding court, holding it down, holding the fort, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't need too much, If you're a Navy SEAL, 2 Navy SEALs can take down a whole building.
They can take down the whole fucking building.
Diffuse a hostage situation, make it happen. Yeah, so
there with like 10 terrorists, but
exactly.
2 Navy Army SEAls get in there.
Clinical, done. Yeah, so the man who, like I'm saying, his voice, that's Mahoota at Mahoota11, the homie Calvin. We here.
You already know. Coming back from, if you watch the NBA, you know that they currently have this thing where if they think you got like COVID contact, so you out on just safety protocol. It's like you don't have COVID, but you might have contacted someone, so we take you out like for 10 days or like for 5 days and whatever. So when they list you on the injury list, they list you as you are out on COVID safety protocol. Exactly. And last week, I was also out on COVID safety protocol. Turned out that it was nothing, luckily.
All scared.
Shout out to that. It was just like a young flu that's going around, and But I'm back, and I actually listened to for the first time if I'm not on the pod, I feel like it's an easier listen for me because I'm not listening to myself.
Yeah.
Because if I was at the recording, it's like I'm just reliving what was happening there. So like I usually will go through half of it, or like there's certain segments that I really want to hear. Did they come out right and shit?
Yeah.
But this one, you guys saw the comments. I was literally like a fan just going off. I'm like, shit. This podcast is really, really dope. Like, it's not just us just guessing ourselves. Because I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, I could listen to this shit every week. Literally. And I'm like, man, the boys did a dope 3-man game. Shout out to Substitute Teacher.
Yeah, Benzo, Substitute Teacher.
And we actually got to know Benzo, man.
Yeah, dog.
That was fly.
So it's fly when you get to know a different perspective to a person you've known for a long time.
Yeah.
You think you know a person, but everyone's got different layers to them, man.
Yeah.
But I think it was, and Teaser handled that segment so dope because he basically asked him how Benzo got into hip hop, which is what I like. It wasn't just the Q&A. Tell us about yourself, you know. So why should we hire you? We've seen your CV. How do you fit in the picture? Like, I wasn't. No, just open up. Tell us how
the real shit.
And Benzo being Benzo, funny as always, witty. Benzo's funny as hell,
witty
bro.
as motherfucker.
Yeah,
I was laughing.
I was laughing my head off, bro. Like
that time is speaking about serious shit.
Hella serious.
Like who the economy, like all that kind of shit. But
exactly.
He's gonna throw in something in there where it's like.
So how did you feel, Harry?
And that's what I would love also for our listeners to know that that's actually Benzo in conversation.
Yeah.
Literally, to having convo, whatever. And what I love about him that his wittiness, it doesn't add it to throw you off. It's like part and parcel of the conversation. It doesn't throw you off from what you guys are actually speaking about because he packages it so well. And it's like... This motherfucker.
Benzo's like bars, bro. Like off the top, straight off the top. He always knows what to say and he just fits in so nicely, So, hey, shout out to the homie Benzo, a.k.a. Sawifo, if you want to check him out on socials. That's the homie. He's part of the visuals team. Speaking of the visuals team, shout out to Banele. Appreciate the work he's putting in for our YouTube channel. Check out
You guys
NHA.
fucking go watch on there, man.
Go to our YouTube channel.
Let me actually just. It's like taking the cat out of the bag, but without taking it out of the bag. That it's not like it's not by mistake that the YouTube is starting to like have like some traction and shit, and it's not by mistake that we haven't had a full episode on there, and we just hope and wish that people are gonna believe the vision, and because they've believed it for 96 episodes.
Yeah.
So I think they trust us. We kind of know what we're doing, and I hope that it excites them because it's usually like dope shit. You see, like we've always just came with like, because I can literally take you back to, because it was Aziz's birthday. Yeah. On the 15th.
Shout out to Aziza.
Happy belated once again, Aziza. Aziza is a friend of the show. Aziza is a huge friend of mine.
Yeah.
From Massive Metro, The Element. Shout out to The Element also putting on hip hop.
Yeah.
And like, I was just, how do I put this now? You see, now I've like shouted out Aziza to a point where I don't know how to put my point.
It kind of messed up your train of thought. Now you have to roll it back.
To the episode. Like, for example, nobody knew that we were coming with that episode. And even with us, funny enough, to tell you guys something, if you did listen to the episode with Aziza, Spoken Pistress, and Mesha, like, that episode was actually not supposed to go down like how it went down. But how it went down ended up being perfect.
Yep.
So, please do always trust that we have something up our sleeve. We're trying to like do things in a very like we're trying to build for lack of a it says I hate how it's used that shit, but we're building and we love the fact that you guys are like building with us, and like this way doper shit that's coming, and just rest assured.
Keep supporting the homies. You see the growth. You see what we're trying to do. Like, I know people have been asking for YouTube for the longest time. Like, gents, we want to see. Some of us, we prefer to watch. We are visual people, and we totally get that, So we're leading into it. We've got our own strategy. Just trust and believe the process. Trust in the homies. We'll get it right. Sometimes we'll get it wrong, but, it's all about creating and building up the brand and giving you more. Ultimately, I know it sounds like a cliche of like, it's about you, it's about the fans, but the listeners, but, real talk, it is, because like we can pod all we want, but if no one listens to this shit, if no one plays, if no one watches the videos, so no one subscribes to our YouTube, then we're doing this for nothing, and we don't do this for nothing. We put in our work, bro. Even if it's two niggas, we're gonna get it and fit it in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it works.
Well, I feel as if, like, as we're on the building topic, we should also just, like, talk about how we also want some streams. Like how AKA needs some streams.
Tommy out the gate, bro. Mahoota set it up so that you can't even miss it, bro. Like, you can't even miss. We can't leave this part editing out as the software is doing its thing. He has to listen from the gate, bro.
No way, dog. Like.
So Super Mega we saw.
So on Super Mega is doing like a promo where they have this they have a competition. Because I did watch that shit. It didn't really tell me much about what the competition actually is.
Yeah.
But it told me that in order for me to stand a chance to win, I need to go stream Pofferman. So the album that I've listened to and made judgment on, in order for me to win and enter a competition, I need to go stream the album. And I don't know, how do you feel about this strategy, Cash? When you look at it, and okay, let me not say how do you feel about it, as when you see it, what comes to your mind?
For me, it's just playing the streaming numbers game. Like, nothing different to, I know obviously on this pod, it's funny because it's AKA and there's people who write for AKA and people who are not really keen. The nicest way, people aren't keen on AKA. Yes. We give him his due.
Don't hate him.
You give him his pass, but not keen on him. So he's just playing the numbers game, because the way the DSPs have said each stream counts for what in terms of monetary terms makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
So that I get, but at the same time, I know Mahouta's probably going to lead into this. I do understand people, Twitter, whatever, were looking at that move and saying, listen, if this thing if this move doesn't make sense in terms of what am I winning? If I see what the competition is saying, but I don't know, I don't get the full picture, and all I'm just gonna be told is for you to be eligible, go stream Bovamania. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I do understand the naysayers saying, yo, is Homie really struggling that much for numbers considering the numbers that he normally does?
And I'm saying yes.
And Mahoota is one of those. So
because here's the thing, and I'll be real. Here's the thing, I will troll, okay, but at the same time also, I do want to showcase Uguti. The trolling is coming actually from something I really believe. Bovamania didn't get the traction it was supposed, or rather, the traction that an AKA album usually gets. Because if I said it's a mixtape or some shit like that,
yeah.
But if you see what he's doing, that's an album. He's pushing an album. Sony's behind it all the way. They are, because there's some songs that I believe also it's because there's some songs that worked. Because there are songs that work. AKA it's always good. Like that Finesse song, he did a video because people were fucking singing along, quoting lyrics each week of that song. Yeah. The song with Shoma Josie.
And Teaser's Homie Flame.
Yes. Shout out to Flame. So you get that there are songs that worked. So they see that even though it didn't get received how IK album is usually received on a drop, because the songs that worked, there's actually something to work with here. Yeah. And then also considering COVID and all of that, because yes,
I was gonna bring that up.
AK is more of an outdoor kind of music. He's a guy who people want to go see at the shows and all of that shit.
And he kills performances.
Kills performances.
Live
like one of the best performers, like in SA, and like. Just generally, even when people want to listen to his music, they're in the club. That's why Taboo was such a huge sport for him, for example.
Yes.
Because
it's outdoor music.
It's outdoor music, you know? So I get that. I get that that's part of why it didn't work. So I'm not trolling that part. We all suffered during COVID. And I feel for every creator who their streams or their numbers or their revenue has went down.
Yeah.
But we are quoted on this podcast saying we need people or entertainers or rather artists specifically even also to find new ways to make revenue around this COVID.
Yeah, be creative.
And I don't know why we are trying to not see that as, because here's the thing, we wanted people to be creative and we're gonna criticize or applaud the efforts. We can't not see this as being creative to try and make more revenue.
Yeah, I'm glad at least you're giving him that, because the bias aside for AKA, he is trying to be creative.
Yeah.
Forget what he called it, mixtape, album, whatever. Yes. But for all intents and purposes,
because also there's Match just launched.
So it's working like an
launched, launched, and then you have a competition where you are kind of making people come back to the album because you have the match.
Yeah.
I get all of that. I get the business move that you are doing, but the execution to me says the album itself didn't do well. Because there's always going to be a competition. A competition is a great way to raise awareness. But I can look at how you layered your competition, and I'm going to see the other things that other people might not see. They want to collect even net dates and but you are linking it to the music for people to go stream, and you are not saying, Guti, if you've played it, it's fine, we have your records. Even people who have played it have to go replay, and that is someone boosting streams.
Yeah, but fair enough. Okay, but
that's 6ix9ing the game, and
of all the comparisons.
And when I look, I'm just criticizing the move, how you do it, how we're praising other moves. I'm like, damn, this is such a low shit to do when you are either number 1 or number 2 or number 3 artist in South Africa.
Okay, but is it the timing for you? What could you? Let me put it this way: what could you have done different with doing this competition for you then to say he's not doing specifically for numbers?
There's no competition to me which will outrightly tell me that I need to go stream your album in order to be eligible for it, that is gonna seem like a good idea.
Yeah, but it's boosting the numbers though.
But
boost the numbers. And like you said, the data thing we obviously
so here's
the back
the thing.
end.
So here's the thing for me. You are trying to if you are trying to boost the numbers, it means there's former people who used to listen to AK who were not listening to the album.
Yeah.
So if we were to do a measure, and out the gate would say probably mostly casual fans.
Yeah.
So you are trying to get the casual fans to continue listening to AKA. How did you get people to listen to AKA at the time who were not your fans? Through hits. So now you are in an environment where having a hit single is no longer the same formula as you were using, because your hit singles were meant for more outside.
Okay.
So I say the struggle. I'm not wrong to point out that you are struggling in coming, in finding fucking dope ways to get people to stream your album without literally almost begging them. Because to me, it's going to that now. It's going to like, he's like, anything for you to just listen to the album. Because now, if I like, let's say, let's say I'm winning, the competition prize is maybe a Bovamania sweater.
Yeah.
And I look at that Bovamania sweater, I'm like, oh shit, that shit is dope.
Yeah.
I don't like the album, but that shit is dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go stream the album.
Mahoota, basically what you're saying is like, it's like someone say, yo, I don't really normally shop at Spa, but they've got a dope promotion. So I'm going to click here, pass it on my WhatsApp groups.
Exactly.
They get their data. I get my voucher. We keep it moving. But normally I don't really miss. But here's the thing though, just to cut homie some slack. Okay, let's put it this way. If we're going to, we can assume that maybe the album's not performing as well as it should be. Then throw in COVID. Events aren't really back like they are. What does he or any other artist do different besides go play my album? Just have a regular competition, give out merch. You want him to do the traditional thing, but yet we've said on this podcast that artists do need to get creative. So why thinking we then turn around and say AK is begging for streams?
So for me, like for example, he already he is doing a lot with the merch thing.
Yeah.
And not that a lot in a bad way. Like as in he's putting in effort to sell the merch. He's having photo shoots. His girl is like frontline,
involved.
Basically the models for the thingy. The main models are AK and the girl.
Ah, dope.
So I'm like, I love that. Frontlining like your shit, because I like it better when artists do merch that looks good on them, and the fans have to find a way to make it look good on them, because I need to see you with the match all the time. And if you don't have match that looks good on you, then it doesn't make any sense. So I was like, yeah, I'm all for this. It's fly. But the match game and the competition game and the streaming game coming like so back to back, it's like something is not working. And you are just trying to find a way to get people to listen to your album.
But because when the album came out sometime last year, right? Okay, so
that's a last year album.
Yeah, so album's been out, right? Is there, if you're saying it's back to back, promo, merch, stream my album, competition, all those things, what then is then wrong to say, okay, even if let's forget the numbers aside, to say let's give the album more momentum. Album's been out, like any other album comes out, it's hard, numbers are up. Casual listeners want to say, okay, let's see what AKA dropping this time. I normally listen to his hits. I'm not a core AKA fan. Yeah. That goes up. The numbers come down. Cool. Numbers are now doing steady streams, plus minus the same every other month, every other week. Cool. Maybe it's not getting playlisted like it was when it came out, because obviously,
it's not. Don't maybe. Don't say maybe.
Nobody.
Kidding.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because most of when you okay, so numbers have petered out. Cool. So homies then says him and his team and Sony combination, like, let's put in more to just get the album just out there. Get the
and
numbers.
Also considering what we were saying even that other week, the industry was quote unquote closed.
Yeah.
So when the industry opens, the people who dropped albums late last year are obviously gonna do shit to revive the albums a bit before, because they know that there's new drops that are coming.
Exactly. And now you've been prejudiced that time.
And I am not criticizing him for trying.
But you're just saying...
What I'm saying is, on this pod, attempts we criticize or we applaud. He is not a guy we can't criticize. We see what you're doing. But we criticize the sneaky way you were trying to do it.
But are you surprised?
Or rather, not we. I'm not. That's why it's funny to me, because if there's someone who's gonna do a move like that in South Africa, it's AKA. Because AKA doesn't care whether the platinum plug is coming from people who hated his music or not.
It's a plug. At the end.
He wants to be able to tell niggas that all my albums are platinum. He wants to be able to be like, my song did this. He doesn't give a shit, because to him, it's about being the best.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit.
If I am number one, it doesn't matter how. It means everything aggregated made me number one. And I personally feel like, as a talented motherfucker like AKA, what you need to, especially because you're already so well known, you just need to make dope ass music.
Yeah, but
it means if your album didn't do well, promote the next one by saying, I'm going in on this one. And then the ears are going to come back.
Bro, look, I hear that, but here's my thing. Look, you know, the music is like chess sometimes, which is why, look, let's keep it a buck. There's corny and whack rappers. Let's keep it real.
Yes.
Who've made a career, who've had, not even, we have 1 or 2 hits, stretch their career, stretch their album. So if whack rappers can do that, then why can't someone, like you're saying, who's top 3?
Actually, that's a good point.
Who's top 3? Because basically all he's doing is like, listen.
If I've done everything and you know that I'm top,
yeah.
Why can't, when there's a pandemic and all numbers are low, why can't I do a sneaky, underhanded tactic?
And
I keep on trying to make it look bad.
It's funny because the album is Bovamania, WrestleMania, and wrestling is all about sneaky, underhanded moves. Ric Flair coming through, pulling the chair under the table.
I mean, that's what it's doing.
Tripping the dude up.
Wait, if that's what it's doing, okay, you're a motherfucking chick.
Ric Flair, bro. Ric Flair.
If you're doing that. But shout out to Bovamania, man. Like, as much as like I'm having fun with this, but shout out to Bovamania. Enter the competition, stream the motherfucking album, because to be honest, and I think especially in music that I don't like, I'll always put this at the end. They're going to say, people who like the kind of music, please go and like stream it and buy it and whatever, buy the merch and whatever, because artists are struggling. Your favorite rapper, for him to afford the studio session for that next dope album, you gotta support him now more than ever. Like, we've always been those guys to say, support artists, but like now it's real, dog. Like, pandemic fucked up pockets hard.
Yeah, I think fans should never underestimate like how much the income of creatives, besides even just musicians or artists, it's not like you with your 9 to 5 where you get a paycheck on the 25th or whatever. Right? Those guys, it's different streams, events, they do a lot. So, and a lot of that stuff depends on being outside. You can be a radio DJ, MC, voice of artist, rapper, actor. If you can be outside, you see now. So if you can be outside, the checks will run dry, you know. So you just support your favorite artists, especially for all the stuff that they're doing, you know, like if you can order their merch, anything. Because it's what people talk about, like, are we? It's one thing to say you write for someone and then you don't live it, you don't deliver, you know, because, you know, ultimately, despite our takes, our critics, our reviews, you know, we want all rappers, AKA included, Mahoota.
AKA included.
We want them to prosper, you know.
I'm not making a mistake. I don't mean excluded, because that's what the people who agree with me would want me to say. But no, AKA included, guys. Support AKA, please.
Yeah, but and when I say that, like, he needs it badly, but he's struggling.
Now it's not to GoFundMe for AKA.
No.
But now you get the point. But you get the point with the competition. Yes, I think I just struck it right. You say good. The competition seems like a GoFundMe rather than someone who believes in his talents.
Homie, who always believes in his talents. That's how
and for someone who's like that, I'm like, damn. I know probably this is Sony, but. Damn, bro.
Hey, but it
doesn't look good on you, man. Like, you're not
you're a legend, bro.
Fair,
why you look like Michael Jordan when he's playing for the Wizards?
Exactly. It's like, Jordan, why you go? Just don't.
Or playing baseball.
Either go to the best team, because they're gonna win the championship anyway.
Or call it a rap. But okay, jokes aside, function aside, for me, I think there's different ways to look at it. But I just think throw in the pandemic, throw in who he is, top tier artist. Ultimately, even if it's not well executed, it's just comes these basic trying to like squeeze as much as you can out of the current situation, out of the album, get more streams, pandemic, and give. It's just an extension to the album. Because obviously the streams are given.
From a strategical point of view, you guys must know that everything that these rappers are doing now is actually exactly what they were supposed to be doing all along. The reason why hip hop in SA like seems as if it doesn't like last the whole year is because we have a period and whatever. So when the industry comes back open, remind people that hey, as hip hop we closed out with albums and that are fire, and we know that some of you haven't arrived like to the albums, especially because there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
But now, when the year starts, before all these other people start dropping music, because we know they're finishing up in the studio right now, listen to these albums. Because I've realized now, already I can tell you that I have a couple of songs, actually more than a couple of songs, which dropped last year, which are going to be on my Apple Music Replay 2021, and in probably the top 10, 20. Like, No Moose, for example, I am still pumping that album, finally. Like I'm
especially
still
when the time that it came out.
You see, I'm still pumping like Zagwe Duncan. To me, still album of the year in whatever year. Doesn't matter what it was last year. Like since that album dropped, there's no better rap album in South Africa. And for 12 months, I don't know when Stogie you dropped. If you were in this period, we exclude you. But for 12 months prior to that, I don't think there's a rap album also that I can say was better.
Yeah, man. And speaking of new music, look, I think rotation always makes sense that you don't have to go play the albums that you're feeling that you're into, because outside from the DSP now and getting spins, you just wanna, besides just supporting, I think if you appreciate a fan, don't be caught up in how there's so much new music dropping. You know, you know, like I think every other person has a artist who they like, the type of hip hop they like.
Yes.
And when that comes, like for me, like I was mentioned on the show, like I always be bumping Ginger. You know, even Zako's another one. Same Johnny Matt, you know, like the young homie, shout out to him. But, you know, we will listen to the albums when they come out, as they drop, see what the artist is about. Even if it's not an artist I'm like into, you know. So speaking of new music, bro, like obviously projects came out, 3 editions yesterday, you know, singles. And I don't know what I'll start with what I listened to. You know, like I know first shout out to Pretty Ugly. Pretty Ugly dropped
shout out to Pretty Ugly
2 singles. You know,
did we put down this decade to start with all the artists that I usually shit out on this pod?
I was actually gonna joke about that. It's funny because like every time I think of Pretty Ugly, it's like it was like when his last album dropped.
Yeah,
Mahoota tweeted like
too. Yo, I shit.
Mahoota just tweeted like this album. And I think it was Teaser, someone on the tier asked you like, yo, what's up with you? And do like, there's just something about me that doesn't turn me on. And then Pretty Ugly reply like, yo,
shit, Conje made Pretty Ugly the thing.
But it was cool how he replied. It wasn't that you just like, yo, you don't have to be turned on by me, just turn on you said there's just something about him that turns me off. And the homie like, yo, you don't have to be just turn on the music, you know.
Which was a bar.
So, and I know you kept it simple, didn't get messy. So, shout out to Pretty Ugly, you know.
Shout out to Pretty Ugly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna listen though. Not that I didn't listen to it because I wasn't looking out. It's because actually I only realized it was out from someone who was playing it, and I saw like a WhatsApp status.
Yeah. And
they were like, yo, the new Pretty Ugly, blah blah. I'm like, oh shit, there's a new Pretty Ugly. But then I was already not listening to music because it was around midnight and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna like get to it, Vel.
Yeah, so
how is it though? How is it?
Dope. Like fuck. So the one single's called Rainbow. The Rainbow one is cool, but the one I really like is
it a 2-pack?
I don't know if it's actually not a 2-pack. It's actually dropped 2 singles on the same day. So like one's called Rainbow, the other one's a Reminder to You, and the Reminder to You is like he said I saw on live. Shout out to Slick on live.
Shout out to Slick on live.
They were like it's a 3rd installment, same like with Peter.
Shout out to Sia Metana.
Yeah, shout out to Sia, the man behind Slick on live.
Yeah, you already know.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was saying it's like this is the 3rd installment to a mixtape that has been series that has been dropping. I think first one came out 2014, 2017. And I think so. This single, if I'm not mistaken, a reminder to you is a rollout to the third installment of this mixtape.
So that's Egypt, I believe. Is it not? Because there was Egypt, there was Egypt 2.
Yeah.
So if you're saying it's like a 3,
it's a trilogy, then it's
I believe it would be Egypt 3.
It'll be Egypt 3, yeah.
I think so.
So. Yeah, but I mean, I dope. Like I really like. It's called a reminder to you. So like it's hella. It like the way he rapped and the content reminds me of Pora. Like the song is so just to get you like get you in touch so that you just listen to it because like
I'll be streaming, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I know I've kind of put it out there. I've got you.
He said the right name for me to come to your shit
because I do like it,
and I already know very Priddy Ugly's demeanor, so
yeah,
I'm already like, it would be
that kind of.
It would be perfect. I think I'd like it.
What he was discussing was like, this is pretty dope. And for me, it came out on a Friday, and it's not even Friday vibes, get hype music. But I was just in that bag. I was listening to Talib Kweli, that kind of music. So what he's talking about is basically the kids being strung out on drugs, the celebs you look up to. He's got one play on rhymes I like where he talked about how half the soccer players you look up to, I know dudes in the hood who can dribble. Them dudes, that kind of play.
Yes, okay.
Government be lying, politics, half the kids are strung out on drugs, so it's...
there's nothing Kash has mentioned right now which is not piquing my interest.
Exactly. So I was like, it was funny, like, I'm going to enjoy it brings up to Mahoota because obviously of that little thing. So, but I mean...
So which one is that one?
That one's called A Reminder to You.
A Reminder to You.
Yeah, the Rainbow one is pretty cool. It's more on a different kind of vibe. But the one, if you really want to get into that kind of rap that you like, is that so shout out to Priddy Ugly, we gave him his props for the moves he's making on the like besides our fuck shit and shenanigans and jokes, we will say we applaud or critic, we give him his props, so music is dope. Looking forward to the project, you know what I'm saying? But also in terms of other music that just came out, obviously you all know Emtee, the Hustler.
The Hustler is back.
The Joburg Hustler is back
again. Another artist that I've shitted on this pod. Like, guys, I think I want you guys to know that this is Kash's work. I'm just being safe, but I'm like, all
I'm going to say is I'm just looking at our topics and our docket for this week.
I put it there at the bottom for a reason.
And I'm just following it one by one. You're the one who opened up with the AKA. AKA is the last point. Mahoota, like, just for time, I'm going to take it all the way to the top. Like, order chairman, can we put this one at the front?
Look at the sound guys, exactly, like helping each other. It's like, you're not just going to do my sound guy like that.
You're going to do him dirty, bro. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I did also listen to like
Logan.
The single. Wait, did I even... Actually, I think I ended up not hearing the new single that dropped.
The Emtee one?
Yes.
Okay.
But I had not listened to the previous single, Itemba.
Okay.
So I actually listened now to Itemba. And I also realized the Wave is on there. Because, I've been like following the Hustler Vet in his independence shit because... I've always believed that he's much better off like that.
Yeah.
I remember there's even a 2014 tweet where I was saying, good, his downfall is going to be set to watch. And it was because I was looking at it from the being signed standpoint.
Okay.
But Emtee is fucking talented, that motherfucker.
So he's indie?
So now he's moving indie, Emtee Records.
Okay.
He has actually even artists that are signed on that. I think even the other artists dropped a single. I can't remember the name. Sorry, we're going to get to it though. Because I know Emtee is going to promote the fuck out of that shit. So, because it's a pre-order, so Emtee is dropping an album.
What do you think of this whole pre-order thing? Actually, because I know you did that in the topics, but I have been thinking about that.
Yes.
And outside of just hip-hop, like even other genres, the reason I'm asking is, it's cool. I get it. It's like what kind of do with the Good Music Fridays? Every Friday you drop a single. It's similar concept, like we're whetting your appetite, for lack of better expressions. We're giving you a few songs, or even Black Cop. Everyone does it on the DSPs. So it kind of started like probably 2 years back, where your favorite artist is coming up. The algo sees what you listen to, and if it's promoted, it's on the homepage for new music daily. So it's like, okay, cool. But here's my thing: fams, for me, sometimes it's just like, just drop this shit, bro. Because some of these pre-ad your albums, it's good to know. My beef is when it's too long.
Okay. Yes.
Like it's way too for those.
That's where I was gonna go. Like
Julian, like for househeads, those Julian Gomez or Julian Combs, as he pronounce his name. Him and Black Coffee had like an album that was pre-ad, like roughly about the same time. His shit's still on pre-ad, bro. Like when is your album coming out, bro? Because exactly, even if you give me a song.
Actually,
every the second week.
Let me confirm this. Continue.
It's like if you give me a song every the second week, and then I only find out your album is gonna come out maybe March 25th or whenever, like much later on. my interest starts when like I end up putting it to the back, but like you know what, it's cool. I've added to my music library, and with the way music drops, by the time your shit comes out, like I've got a whole bunch of music on my homepage. I might have forgotten about it. Then like, oh shit, this dude did drop. Like,
yes,
pre-adding is cool,
because
but
I've confirmed now, ne?
Like, but don't make it too long.
A Riz Fair to dropped residual self-image. I don't know when.
It's the same thing.
And then confirmed good is dropping an album. Then dropped a whole track list of a pre-order.
Yep.
Which this was, I think, beginning of Feb or close to beginning of Feb.
Yeah,
which is fucking dropping only on the 26th of March.
Like, see, Reese another one, like, got his album here.
Fam.
And I have to like scroll all the way down to even find, because other music is dropping, I'm adding the albums.
Fam.
And then it's only when your album drops, so maybe, of course, if the algorithm says, okay, at least I know Apple Music, what it does when the album does drop, you send your notification, okay, the shit is now out there. But I'm like, yo, fam.
Don't make it too long.
Don't make it too long. It's basically what I'm saying.
So to answer, because now I want to answer your initial question, would say how I feel about the pre-orders. Yeah. It's actually because I now want to catch you because I actually want to say to hop on the same shit. Look, I love pre-orders, Mina, because I love to see who you have on your album. Because to me, a pre-order becomes like a track list. If you already have the track list, I don't see why I don't have the pre-order. Mainly because I hope I'm not being being confusing to people when I say this. Ne? But mainly also because when I add the single, I hate it when you drop the single and it's in its own album folder. Because
I also don't like that.
When you drop the album, it's gonna double up on my album. So the single is gonna be it's gonna play twice.
Playing the streaming game, bro.
You understand?
Playing the streaming game, bro.
I
Overmania.
Sharat.
You must know.
You know, Sony vibes.
Right, so, yeah, but I also don't like that because now it's the single, it's a pack. Then I have to edit again.
Fam.
Just clogging up my library. And people saying, why just delete it? Like, yo, fam, why not just put this shit there, roll it out?
Yeah, so for me, that's why. And it goes hand in hand also with what I was saying earlier, I think earlier last year, where I was saying, Uguti, I do still feel that singles are necessary, but I don't want the singles to last too long. Don't give me a single now for an album that you are dropping to like in November.
Yeah, bro. Ain't nobody got that kind of time,
you know,
bro.
So now it works well. Uguti, you'll drop your single. Maybe the album is a month away. Drop the first single and you drop it with the pre-order. And I know it's okay, pre-order time is 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Or time is 4 weeks away. And in the third week, you're going to drop another single. Yeah. Which is, to me, it's just appearing and being available on the album. So you are revealing the album just bit by bit, and it's like 2 songs. And I know that next week, the full album is available.
And it's also another way, like,
let's do
that you're showing us, you're showing us which ones you, as the artist, are picking out as the singles that you want to chart.
Yes.
Whereas the normal way is the album comes out, and then you have already got your presets.
Exactly.
So you're kind of giving us a bit of insight into which ones you think are the singles, or if it's not the ones you think are the singles, are the ones that you want people to gravitate towards.
Yes, because the streaming era has changed shit now.
Dynamics are different.
There's no longer like just you can literally drop an album first and then the song that's catching traction, you then promote it as
you
a
run
single.
behind that. Exactly,
so if you are still doing the traditional way, it's nice to show us on the track list. You're like, this song is number 4 on the album, but I'm leading with it. There's a reason why I'm leading with it. Like, I still love that kind of feeling, but I hate it when rappers make it too long or when artists make it.
Yeah, bro, fam.
Why anything over a month? Nope. Don't give me the pre-order. You can then give me the single rather. Don't even tell me that you have an album coming. Let me just see a song and I'm like, oh, let me listen. I love the single. But hey, if it's any promo, which is more than a month, these days.
Now we're good. Like, imagine that for me, like, as much as I'm bumping Questa's Fire in the Ghetto, I like the fact that I can speculate to whether he's got a project coming out.
Yes.
You know, so I'm
he has insane. Imagine now if he dropped Fire in the Ghetto pre-ed for an album that drops in June. It's like, wait, what?
June, April's too far, man. Bro. Even April's far, like, yo, bro. Anyway, so yeah, if these artists, man, between y'all and your labels, this pre-ad shit,
yes.
I don't know if y'all trying to get our data in the back end, knowing these algos and DSPs, I'm sure they can see who's pre-added your music.
No, it counts. It counts as a sale.
Nah, you see
So
that,
like for example in America,
being shifty with
the
this
reason why an artist can sell 200,000 albums on the first day is because probably 150,000 pre-edited the album.
No.
So as soon as it drops,
your phones will let you know.
Boom.
Oh, it's already a count.
It gets added. No, if you pre-edit.
Yeah, the day drops, it's already.
The day it drops, it gets added. It's telling you have a new album on your phone.
Go and listen to it.
If it was a purchase, because now it's a stream, yes, but if it was a purchase, it would be counting as you've already purchased the album to listen to it. You are waiting to listen to it.
Yeah.
So we already counted towards like numbers and shit.
Yeah,
There's
man.
too many numbers that count these days, so
look,
a bit annoying.
It's as much as we might look, I get the artists, and we're not even going to be mad at them because the artists are just trying to do what they've always done, which is move around the parameters that the powers that be, the record labels, the DSPs have set. Because for them it's always like, what can I do to get more bread out of these dudes who set the rules? And now the rules are even worse because like a million stream counts for 0.1000% of a cent and all that other nonsense. So if the artists are going to be creative, it's just that unfortunately for us as the listeners, as fans, we get caught up in the middle of all these little like mind games and maneuvers between like the creatives trying to get paid and the record labels doing the usual, trying to be stingy and keep all the money to themselves. But so for the Logan, obviously Logan album come pre-added.
Yeah. It's coming 9th April.
It's named after the sun, So I think so far there's like about 4 or 5 tracks that are already on. So you already know
I wanted
Wave.
To speak on that then. Like for example now, okay, I'm not happy on the pre-order because even though the other songs dropped as singles, they were not on a pre-order. Pre-order only dropped now for 9th April, which is fine. It's the time frame that we just discussed, would we accept. But now, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm still too traditional with how I listen to music. Because Wave and Joasselberg and Brand New, they all dropped as 3 separate singles. Yeah. That, yes, we know that when you start dropping music, albums coming at some point, but they were not being tied to Logan. And we did already know that the album is going to be called Logan. Maybe I missed it then, But when now you have 3 of those quote-unquote old songs, because they're old, dog. Like, I think that's my problem, Muguti. You added, yes, the singles kind of worked. I remember we even spoke about them when they dropped. But it's old-ass music, dog.
Okay, so...
And it's 3 of them. If you have one, the one that worked the most, you then add it to the album sharp. It's 3 songs that dropped in 2020 for an album that's dropping on the 9th of April.
Yeah, but okay, to flip the other side, I understand it because I know Joe Hasselberg did come out a while ago. Because obviously now, album comes out, go check out when's the last time Emtee dropped, and then obviously you end up checking out the singles. It's like, okay, so this is what's going on. Then you look at the album, like, but these singles have been out for a while.
Yeah.
So I think it's where we can only speculate, obviously, that look, I feel 2 ways about this. There's one side.
I'm trying to check the dates, like,
when they came out. Yeah, while you're doing that.
I don't even trip too much on him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no. Nope.
What? When they come out.
Hasselbeck dropped on the 8th of May.
2020.
You are giving us a 1-year-old song that has been out for almost a year.
Numbers, bro.
In the album.
Why not, bro? Fill it in like.
And I'm getting worried because it seems like that was the most latest that is on the album because Brand New was.
Brand New's been out. When? I'm out.
I don't know, because now it's going to become personal.
Like, let's look like
January.
Last year, January.
Okay,
but here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I know you are about to go on where you like gonna make sense. But after we know that Brand New dropped in January 2020 and it's in the album,
yes,
I think the conversation changes.
Okay, fine.
You know that we didn't know of a lockdown. When this song dropped, we didn't know of a lockdown.
Yes, but there's a point you made earlier. This episode, like we were saying, look, you do get the fact that there were artists who, when lockdown came out, they decided, like, you know what? this changes everything.
Yeah.
So Emtee, for all we know, like you're a fan of folders. The album could have been done. The folder could have been there.
Yes.
Even if it wasn't the complete album done.
I feel you. No, I actually
80%, maybe 1 or 2 features. There were probably a few things that needed to be done. Plan was there, maybe features, Nyana, but then COVID throws a spanner in the work. So now it becomes a case of, okay, cool. Let's put and let's also give him the benefit of the doubt, because if I just checked his albums, his last album was Avery, which was 2017, right? And that was ambitious.
No, it was Manando.
Manando. Okay, so
Manando.
Yeah, but basically his last album you're signed. You're still
but
signed.
Then yes, Manando was the last album on this. So this is the first.
Yeah, so the first. Yeah, I'm really upset. This is the first indie album. COVID comes. So now for him, similar to how at one point you're saying you used to feel it's gonna be sad to witness his downfall. So he, as an artist, probably, I know I might be giving him too much leeway, but long and short of what I'm saying is he probably doesn't want his first indie drop to have too many glitches, because then the people have the concerns of your Emtee, it might be not such a dope move that is indie. Mm-hmm. He wants to prove to himself, prove to the naysayers, and obviously he wants to have a dope album drop. So now he's now faced with a situation that not only he wasn't no one is anticipating it, and now you're indie. And it's almost similar to what we said about
you can leave them out.
That came out in December, bro.
You can leave them out.
No, but here's the thing: why leave them? Okay, so if you're gonna leave them out, Mahoota, that means they've done what they've done.
They've done what they needed to do. They've done it for a year, for 12 whole months. The song has been on rotation, radio, everything. Yeah. Thank you. So, Sabonga. Nice song.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
we have it in our DSPs, but can you please put it aside from the album? Are you saying you've not made a song
He's got plenty of
that
songs
can replace that song in your album in the last 12 months when you were quarantined?
What about the fans? Emtee probably has enough music to drop even a mixtape before Logan drops. Yes. But what about the fans who, because obviously those singles have been out, people build an affiliation to songs. I get what you're saying. I might have disagreed, but the people probably want to see it in the album because they've been hearing it on radio. It's been getting played. Cool. Then there's us who like really get into the nitty-gritties of an album and say, "Yo, homie." Because sometimes I do feel that I do understand your perspective.
I'm also actually
because there's that whole thing of, okay, if I don't even look at the fact that the single's been out for a long time. I have this thing where if a new album is coming, it's new material. You see, yes. I can understand 1 or 2 songs to say, look, this one like was fire. People fuck with it, so I'm gonna put it on the album. But my plan was I was dropping singles to let people know I'm coming, gain momentum, and I'm going to hit you with my new project. The singles are to give you a feel of what tip I'm on. So I do get why people like you might be like, yo, then how are you going to give us 4 of your old joints on the new product, on the new album?
Like,
but the thing with DSPs also as well, speaks to, like, let's speak to the album track listing, top to bottom. We always talk a lot about how sequence. We don't talk about it so much now, but if Emtee feels like, yo, I have to have a wave there, I have to have E-Temp, I have to have Joe Hasselberg,
Here's the thing.
If he feels it needs to be, then let him put that shit there.
I do agree. I'm not disagreeing.
I know. I'm just trying to look at both sides.
All I'm saying is
they've been out.
If you are quarantined for 12 months, there's a reason you want wave at number 5. There's a reason. But I can tell you right now, in Emtee's PC, there's no way that there's not a song that speaks to the same kind of feeling and message of wave that they could have inserted in there.
I was almost about to say something about, maybe the labels, influence, telling him put wave, but then he's indie now, so it's him. He's
written at the bottom, 2021, Emtee Records, coming 9 April.
Cool.
And also, you are making it a 16-track album. Already, I have 3 songs that I don't believe you should have added here. So now,
because in essence, it makes it shorter. It makes it shorter in terms of new material.
Yes, because he was dropping now this current yesterday. He was dropping the the pre-order with the single La Cash.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, my nigga. I was gonna try come through, but hey, goddamn, yo, it wouldn't be the same, bro. It wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. La Cash is the single. Yeah. And the issue now is that Wave is also the single, ne?
Yeah.
Abo E-Temp, which dropped like a couple of weeks or so ago.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with 2 lead singles for a 13-track album.
Yeah.
Now you have 5 lead singles for a 16-track album because
So in essence,
3 of the songs are unnecessary.
Okay, I would say
Whether as singles
Mahoota
or
unnecessary.
as like
I would say they're out as opposed to they're
no,
unnecessary.
they're unnecessary on the album.
No, they're
Nah.
out. Nah, they're out,
Like,
bro. They're out.
fam,
They're not unnecessary.
Are you telling me that you are sitting there? If you let's say, what's the January single? God,
Let's see. It was because it's Brand New Day, Timber and Wave.
yeah, I think Brand New Day is the January single.
Yeah.
So now, let's say I really. Oh, he also dropped DIY 2
Yeah,
after
DIY2,
Manano.
in
But I think that was more promoted like as a mixtape.
Yeah.
You see?
And so you're still signed as well. Anyway, yeah.
Yes.
So, but the main thing, bro,
yes.
the first indie,
So now,
first indie drop is Logan.
it's yes, brand new. Brand new. Because Brand New and Wave dropped as a 2-pack on the 29th of January, 2020. Say, I really love one of those songs. And I'm playing it the whole fucking year. And then you announce in January 2021 that you are dropping an album. You haven't told us the date. Already, I'm doing new music. I'm just telling you as my psych that when you announce in January that you're going to drop an album that you don't have a date for, it means you've started working on a new album. There's a reason why you don't have a date for it, because you are working on the music. So that means the song that I loved a year ago, I must now put it in the back burner and expect new shit. Then you drop a single, which is Itemba. I'm like, fire, dope. There we are, finally. So I'm looking at Itemba as a first single. And it's actually the 4th single of the album.
Emtee the hustler, bro. Doing it
He's
different,
hustling.
right? Hustling, bro. If AKA can hustle the DSPs with competitions, bro.
Yeah. There's facts.
Let the hustler, but
That's
shout
right.
out.
But
Shout out to Emtee, man.
I do also
like how he's
wanna,
moving.
Yes, I like what he's moving because I also want to go to that now. He announced that this album is actually going to be more of an Afro-pop album.
Get that money, Emtee.
And if you listen to the singles that have dropped, he's moving very in that way. A lot of more singing. But it's Afro-pop in the Emtee way. So you see the hooks that you loved on Emtee.
I was about to say
He's just making them verses also now. So it's like, it's still for the guys who love Emtee for what it does. It's still like, so because I don't want also for it to sound as if he's alienating like the fan base. He's actually giving the fan base his true self. Because that's why we call him the hook god in hip hop.
There's people who's gonna complain anyway. Like,
you already know. I guess that's why I'm trying to like talk to them now.
Like, yo, give
Red,
homie space.
This thing is actually now doing an album that is probably gonna be the truest Emtee album. Because yes, Emtee can trap. It's not that his origin is trapper.
Yeah.
He can. He's an artist. He makes music. If you go back, because me and I go back with Emtee from when he was with the group with Umaraza. What is it? It's for something. Harris for that. Shout out to Maraza, friend of the show. And like from that time, he was coming in as this dude who's gonna do the wavy shit, like singing, like that and whatever. Safigo auto tune. He was on that wave. So when he's saying he's dropping a quote unquote Afro-pop album, it's actually exactly that kind of Emtee.
Yo, fans can't expect someone like Emtee, who's good at melodic singing and
Yes.
harmony, to just be a trapper for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
plus,
that's what I'm
like
saying.
we always say, artists go through progression. He's had a kid. He said he wants it to be his dopest album. He named it after his son. He's already putting a lot of expectation on the album. And then you always want him to trap. You need to show plus. Look,
fam.
and
also, it's at the perfect time.
He's not future, bro.
Pandemic.
Emtee's
It's
not
actually
future, bro.
perfect time that
I was trying to get that off. Emtee is not future. Let that nigga
Yeah.
be getting his versatile bag.
I actually wanted to say that Uguti, on that future thing, Uguti, this is actually if you're a trap fan, American trap, and you like Young Thug, you know he did an album called Beautiful Thugger Girls,
Yeah.
which was quote unquote a country
Album, yeah.
like kind of album. It was more of, it's actually what we've loved with Thug, which is more R&B-ish, more singing and whatever. But because he's always trapping, and he decided, let me give you guys an album actually, which is just that kind of music. Which is basically what Emtee is doing. And I love it. I want to
have different pockets, bro. And And we don't know what his long-term plan is. What if he wants, a lot of artists now are now open their eyes and say, listen, let me get more traction on the continent.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go, Def Jam
and
Africa.
we already know that kind of music is the one that's going to capture the continent.
And whether people might want to hear it or not, we said it before.
They want to get, they just want to wear.
Fam, Emtee.
I'm like, my nigga.
That nigga is perfect for this because, put it this way. You know, if you're an African artist, if you're 100% trap, hardcore, backpack, and there's not even an iota of anything that's resembling or of a semblance of Africanicity, if I can put it there. Shout out to Standard Bank. If your ad could have gone right here. Yeah, Africanicity. So
here,
right here, cut the check. So if you don't have that, then look, you're only limiting yourselves. You know, because I respect anyone who's trying to make moves and trying to be more versatile, push their talent, see what they can do, and get this money. Don't get it twisted. Exactly. But it's a money move, bro. And why not get this money?
Especially now that you're indie,
the checks are yours, bro. There's people to cut the check with.
Funny enough, not that I'm trying to track back on my word, but when we look at it from an indie perspective, adding those singles makes sense for streaming numbers, purposes, and
because the money is his,
you know,
share with less
that
people.
Kind of shit.
The hustler Emtee,
so
bro.
It's it makes sense, but from the music perspective, I would have loved it differently. But
you know, I kind of agree with you. Obviously, we're not gonna beat that point today. But when you did mention that the album is a 16-track album and already 4 of the songs are out, that in essence makes it for me. Once the 11, it's 10 tracks. Yes. And if we're talking 10 tracks, then it feels like it'll feel like an EP.
Yes.
And I know we're really delving into the nitty-gritties, but we just like new stuff and new content, especially when you know rappers like Emtee have got gang new music, gang folders, you know. But
there's new music which I wanted to also plug.
Yeah, go for it. But shout out to Emtee. Look out for that album, Logan, coming.
Please.
March 9th.
Please. April 9th.
Okay, cool.
March 9th is past, Chief.
April 9th. Yo, fam, it's a long weekend.
Today is like the 20th of March, Chief.
So
it's like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks away.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks away, I think that works.
To highlight
2
your
weeks
point.
away. Yeah, kind of works.
Yeah, but Emtee doing the thing.
So Emtee, shout out to the hustler too. I wanted to also
look forward to the project.
Point out to what's this music now? Can't find my app. Oh, there we go.
Niggas had it highlighted now. The phone's letting you down. See what Mahouta's bumping.
I'm bumping the new Tumitladi. A lot of people claim it might not be familiar. Tumitladi is more on the
album or single.
The single.
Okay.
So he's been dropping singles. He's Khaliding the game. So he's more of a DJ Khaled kind of putting his last. Because I really got to him when he dropped his previous single, which was Rouge and Unomuzi. Basadi. It was a remix of a single he dropped earlier. Because that shit banged, man. That shit banged. And I do Rata Basadi. So it worked out.
Makes sense, bro.
This is a top song. And I also love Rouge and Nomuzi and the Abasadis.
So
Mahoota
plugging the ladies.
Yo, Mahouta's back on his A game, man.
Shout out. The A mic is back.
A mic is back. But yeah, man. So Tumitladi is back with, funny enough, with one of my favorite ladies also in the game, Angie Santana.
Hey, shout out to Angie. What up?
I was happy to finally hear new music from Angie. Mm-hmm. You see, so it's like it is also moving on. Tumitladi is also now moving on this. I need to see good and look good. He's actually on this women power empowerment movement. So it's a nice. It will be a nice women kind of influenced album and shit. And I think that's going to be fire. Because all the songs that I've heard are fire. Shout out to Angie Santana. Please do go to my IGTV. I have an interview with motherfucking Angie Santana. The shit was fucking fire as fuck.
Do the right thing. Go
watch the right thing. Go watch that shit.
Interview one-on-one bag. Mahoota 11 on socials, on the gram. Speaking of women, I saw your homie Gigi getting named Women to Watch.
Yeah,
by Chunko.
For all those who might not know, Chunko is like one of the biggest like aggregators. So
international local
to international because it's a US company.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of the South African artists use Chunko because you take it to Chunko. It's like how people use Orchard.
Yes. Get their music
they
out
will
there,
take it to like
DSPs and everything, other platforms.
Yes, they'll take it to Chunko. Chunko is gonna plug it to your Apple Music, whatever. You pay a fee to Chunko, then it plugs it to Apple Music, Spotify, blah 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 blah, all those things and all that shit. So I say that to say I'm giving that to say new music goes through those guys.
Yeah.
So those are guys who know what's coming, who know what's hot, who know what can be hot.
So if they're saying us,
so if they are saying Gigi is part of the 21 female artists in the world that you have to look out for, that to me was
moves.
like a major
plug.
That's a major plug, doc, because it means, and it also correlates. Also, not that it means it also correlates with how during the lockdown we've been speaking so well about the moves she's been making. So it means the moves about Chunko, they're also seeing, oh, okay, maybe this next Gigi album might just be like a fucking blockbuster.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Gigi. Do the right thing. Come to the pod. Mahoota's always plugging you, holding you down, bro. Do the right thing. Come to know it in the agenda. Sit down with
my friend, man. Shout out to Gigi.
Sit down with the homies. Kick it. Tell people your story. You know. So
and the airplanes are back.
The planes are back. Even the ambulance. even I was on SoundCloud. Shout out to Ginger. And if you listen to one episode where we speak about the planes, and, you know, like, nah, I like anything to do with planes and being high.
Because he's the one who actually made us
like gives an ambience, bro.
Notice the shit. He's like, no, don't switch off the planes. Don't like try to drown them out. We like it. It's a great ambience on that, man.
Yeah, so new music before we wrap up the music segment. Benny the Butcher, anything else besides you?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it because I Griselda. Too much music. I can't keep up.
What I was doing
too
is
much
that
plug talk.
I wanted to speak about the plug.
Butcher coming, nigga.
Because Butcher has, especially with the last album, Burden of Proof, that he did with Hit Boy. Shout out to Hit Boy, producer of the year.
Come out yesterday, the Beast Benny
the
Butcher.
Yeah. It was like, so it ended off the year. It ended off the year, and he's like back again. And what I wanted to say with this Benny the Butcher drop is, I also wanted to put it like this at the end of the new music, because I believe he's finally the, I want to say A-list, because a lot of people still think we do count about Jay-Z and them. No, those guys are like above. They're not listed. A-listers are your Drakes, Kendricks, and whatever. And in terms of that kind of rap, he literally is an A-lister now. Because that kind of rap is supposed to be underground rap. Yeah. But he's the one guy who's there mingling with the mainstream.
And that's no mean feat, because it's always hard for rappers who are in that type of hip hop, streets, plug talk, cocaine rap, hustling, grinding, and they're from Buffalo, New York, basically East Coast.
Yeah,
for you to break into mainstream, it's a lot of work.
A lot
because
of work, dog.
Some of the rappers who've transitioned from that kind of rap to mainstream, you can see them shedding off, right? Even from the way they dress. They look less street, less hood.
Yes.
They clean it up. It's no longer like the fatigues, the scullies. Mm-hmm. It's now more of, you know, your Versace, B.I.G. kind of shit.
The jackets are doper.
The jackets are
you can say the style is still kind of the same, but
it's more cleaned up. It's more swag.
The chains shine more.
The chains, you know, they might shine more. You know, it's grown man. You know, because unfortunately you have to be more palatable to the mainstream, if you want to chart, if you want to mix at that level, if you want to get the features, because, okay, let's say if you're a Benny the Butcher, then for random example, you want an Ariana feature.
Yes.
You can't be Buffalo, Street Talk, Griselda, you know, like that. You have to water it down. And even rappers back in the day.
That's why I wanted to say, Guti, why Griselda, especially Benny, having moved in into the mainstream, is that why we need to applaud them more is that he actually, just like Pusha, moved in with, he assimilated without changing the plug talk.
Yeah, Push is the perfect example.
Like, that guy can do a single that can play on radio. But after 5 spins, you're going to realize that this guy is actually trying to sell cocaine to you. You're like, oh, fuck.
You know,
Fam.
I'm laughing. It's like when Little John blew up and Chris Rock did a joke about how white people didn't know what skeet means. Like, Little John was screaming, skeet,
Dude,
on every song.
And they were laughing that
shit. And like, when Chris Rock was like, the day white people find out what skeet, like, oh my God, we've been playing on the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah, but good point, because it's exactly that. You will not realize, but they've found a way just to do the crossover.
Yes.
Where the hardcore fans won't be like, yo, Benny's now, when he does those kind of features, the poppy ones, he's selling out. Or, because even back in the day, like if Snoop and did like a Mariah, even old DB, as crazy as he was, if you do a single like a Maya or Mariah Carey, barely any swear words, it's easy to sense. It's like, I remember the specific one I'm thinking about, like with Snoop and Mariah, you didn't even have to have like a clean version, because Snoop kept it clean. Because Mariah's like, yo, tone down that gangster shit, bro.
Yes.
This is what we're trying to go with the single, and you do that. But now with Pusha and your Benny, and mostly Griselda, but Benny's the one who's really from where I see, who's really front and center of the Griselda.
Yes.
You know, Westside Gun is, I know Westside is more of like
the
man behind the label.
Westside is the point guard that's making everything happen.
Yeah.
But he also wouldn't actually be against what we are saying. He's the strat guy.
Yeah, because he's like,
yes, he has music that's out, but
I think Westside focuses more on,
even when he pushes the music, he doesn't make his music to be front and center of everyone. Yes, how that group moves, Vele, they try to not have an A mic per se, but in terms of the strides that have happened, the guy who's more accepted into the regular music that people play has been Benny. Yeah. And the fact that he doesn't change, to me, is it's like when 50 first came in, they did want, because he was slick talker of 50, they wanted the slick talk, but he would tell you, good, I'm going to slick talk in a grimy way, like I'm in a strip club, not that make love. No, when we're in a love song, I'm going to speak about how I'm turning you around and spanking you and shit, whatever, because
I'm gonna get Joe.
I'm gonna bring the hood.
I'm gonna get the Marvin Gaye sample, and I'm gonna get Joe on the hook. I'm gonna get Joe to harmonize. I wanna get to know you. Hey, I really wanna fuck you, baby.
It's like, whoa,
exactly like on the Marvin Gaye sample. So you
and that pops. It's number 1 on radio.
Exactly.
That's crazy, bro. Like, I think maybe only the niggas who relate with the struggle are gonna understand why we feel that it's a bigger feat. Like Drake going number 1, number 2, and number 3. Yeah. It's like, yes, first ever artist to do it. It's a huge thing. Shout out. But it's like,
from the gate,
if there was ever someone who was going to do it, it's Drake.
Yeah.
So now, if we have Benny the Butcher, his album is being spoken about in all the platforms that are covering Drake.
Yeah.
Like, there's Drake, yes, first article Drake, but second article Benny the Butcher. It's like, that's unknown for someone who's fucking speaking about how he used to fucking sell cocaine.
And
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
And he's not even doing it the Rick Ross way. Because Rick Ross does commercial music.
Yeah.
Like, he literally goes, yes, he's the plug talk, he does like those kind of raps, but it's not street. Like,
nah, it's not
like, it's crazy, grimy.
What else could you expect from a former correctional officer?
who's not top tier?
Yeah, I was not top tier. Self-made. Get your lemon pepper faded ass out of here, bro. Shit.
I can't believe I just landed on a nice Rick Ross roast.
Exactly. Go push your wings franchise. Yeah, but how is the album though? Like, I'm obviously gonna listen to it.
Yeah, I've spun the album already, and to the new artists, to the new fans, if you haven't ever listened to like Benny the Butcher, it will be a great introduction because it's a collaborative effort with the producer Harry Fraud. I also just actually learned of him now when a couple of weeks ago he dropped another collaborative album with Jim Jones. And you know I'm on Jim Jones, bro. I'm on Jim Jones. So I was like, yo, who the fuck is this Harry Fraud? So this other friend of the show, one day on Twitter, he plugs me. It's like, cause he's like, about if you think Bonga and Benzo are cocaine raps, that nigga is like their father. He like, listens to nothing but that kind of rap. He wanted Alchemist to be producer of the year last year. I'm like, but Hit Boy, dog, like
nah.
It's like, yeah,
like, you niggas, your commercial mainstream shit is there. Nah,
Alchemist did this project. I'm like, what projects are those, nigga? I don't even know.
You did a Chicken Alfredo with Alfredo Games, exactly. Those kind of stuff, like real street shit, bro.
So he's the one who told me, he's like, no, this Harry Fraud guy actually mingles with this Griselda niggas. He's actually very dope. He actually does a lot of these collaborative albums. I'm just gonna produce your whole shit. But now it seems as if he's doing it now with the people that are more in my eyesight. And he is motherfucking dope. Because the beats that he gave to Jim Jones, I thought that was crazy. And I still feel that they're crazier than these ones. But he literally didn't give me the same style. Because Jim Jones is featured actually on the Pooch album also. They're plug talk street rap, so you'd expect that they're gonna get similar kind of beats because similar content, similar kind of flowing and all of that. But that motherfucker thought is so dope that he gave them an album each of just incredible styles that fit the rappers so much. So with Benny's one, it's so dope because the production itself makes it so different from the Hit Boy one, which is like a burden of proof. So I like it because I always say that with coke rap, to me sometimes it becomes just like trap, very repetitive, very the same. For me, I can. So when you switch it with production, though, even the similar content will sound a bit different.
Makes sense because me, that's supposed to be my limitation with trap, with coke rap, and that's very niche. I can only listen to it for so long. Even other genres of music, except for house music, because that's not the same. I don't care what anyone says. Random side note for people like you, especially chicks. All you chicks out there saying, "Oh, house music sounds the same." You have no ear for music. That is blasphemy. You can tell me Afro, tribal, soul, commercial, Euro is the same.
Shit. And you guys thought I was an elitist when it comes to music,
nigga. Nigga. Shout out to Black Coffee, bro. The rapper that he thinks he is. I love Black. Watch that. Shout out to
Go watch the NPR. Go watch the NPR first. Yeah, Black Coffee. Black Coffee is only the second DJ to be on NPR.
Moves, bro.
That's crazy.
Moves.
And go watch the interview
on
with the boy,
the Zulu Man with Some Power podcast, hosted by Scoop. Shout out to Scoop Makatini.
Yeah.
And Black. It was really dope.
But is that what? Okay, how? That's a Nasty C podcast,
but here's
hosted by Scoop.
No, hosted by different people. Remember how
he's hosting hosts.
It's he's giving people the platform. Literally and figuratively, he's giving you a platform to do interviews, which is just dope. Remember when it was announced? I think Tizo made a point like, what happened with Casper, the family tree thing, and there are a lot of, I know even Maraz at one time did a podcast. Same thing with Stogie before he came back. I know artists are busy, so even if they want to have a pod, the exchange just won't allow them. So I think he probably saw that. Look, with the way I travel, with my commitments, I'm still gonna have a pod, obviously. And you can tell. I don't know if you watched it. You can just see there's the man is behind this pod, the setup, the Zulu shields.
Some of those you can tell this.
The decor, everything was proper, bro.
It is like an AMPD thing.
Yeah, M Studios, Old Mutual, Old Mutual
and shit.
So it is proper, but I mean, like it's well done, and I like the fact that he's in the cut. He's not making it about himself. Then you have Abu Butch, Black Coffee. Shit,
I'm a good man.
Hey, it was probably having a good man and a youngster.
I can imagine. I'm waiting to watch that shit.
It's so dope.
Sunday.
Exactly. Give it time. Nice and easy, long weekend. And the way Scoop was asking the question, ask questions, let them tell their story. So, once again, like with Benzo last week, where you think you know someone, you know the Nasty C story, but he's telling about where he grew up in Louisville, with his brother, was more of a house producer. I had to walk like
Bongas from there.
Bongas hood. Stills having to walk like almost like
P. Do you count as Toti or Love? Oh,
family.
Is also from Love.
Yeah, that's talking about how he had to walk like almost a minute, like more than how many Ks for him and his brother to the hard homie past the river. That river was like really nasty. You had to go past the river to get to the homie's studio back in the day. Do you know I found that funny? Because, you know, growing up, our parents always talk about you kids are pampered. You can't wake up on time to go to school. We had to wake up early.
Yeah.
Like, you know, milk the cows and with no shoes. We had to go all the way to school. Every black parent tells you that story. All of them.
All he managed to get was like crossing the river.
Like crossing the river, So
and these youngins, they struggle. Look at that.
Hey, bro, for clouds, bro. Clouds.
We crossed fucking 10 rivers, nigga.
Exactly. Our parents will be like, bro.
Shout out to Nasty, man. I like to shit on Nasty.
Speaking of Nasty C, right.
Wait. M Studios has a podcast, Zulu Man with Some Power with Nasty C. Go check it out.
Dope series.
It's a series thing.
Was it Miss Cosmo did the intro for it? It was pretty dope.
Yeah, that would be fire. I like Miss Cosmo. I really like Miss Cosmo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know.
Must just reply to my emails. But
anyway, all in good time.
Yeah, all in good time, man. But to just give it like the proper promo, please go. Actually, it's on YouTube, bro. Like Nasty is doing really ridiculously great things, dog. Like, I really fuck with that shit because from an artist perspective, even if there's no album, like how they're tying this whole shit to the theme of Zulu Man. Yes, it's America doing America shit, but
but thank you for saying that because I was gonna say that, and you know, speaking after the week we've had, the passing of royalty.
Yes,
You had to say that.
Yes, I'm going. I'm not gonna have a home when I go home. I thought this is Losama Bandla. Even
Eskom more honorable. They're like between 10 and 2, no load shedding.
No load shedding.
Because I like the way they said. Even the press statement, like it's historic. Yeah. For those of you who didn't think it's historic, like this is a monarch, irrespective of what tribe you are.
Whether you respect it or not,
exactly. Like
just if you don't respect it, let it be.
Let it be.
Just know that there are people who are South Africans like you, who have something that they celebrate that is part of their country.
It's monumental,
and it's one of the few things that were they were infiltrated by apartheid, but at least it's one of the few things that it's still a recognizable traditional shit.
True. Even besides the infiltration, it's still a culture that's steeped and stemmed in the history of South Africa up to today.
Yes.
Because, real talk, we can't get gassed every time a monarch from the British royal family passes away. The SABC, DSTV, every other channel is showing that shit. The whole comes to
I watched Princess Diana's funeral.
So
I watched it.
Forget the fact that I liked it. I watched the whole damn thing because it was that deep.
Because it was fucking TV.
So if I can afford Princess died that, then at the very least, why can't I acknowledge one of our own who's African, who's a tribe, even if you're not Zulu, and it's a big thing. So you know, but if Eskom, if you're gonna do the right thing for those kind of momentous occasions, do the right thing for us who like working. Period.
Do the right thing for the podders. For the weekends.
Weekends. Yo, weekends, bro.
All podders record on weekends. If you're not recording on weekend, move to a weekend. We're trying to buy you a plane now with no slow trading on weekends.
Especially on weekends. You know, I know they
last week you guys were like 1 hour, some change. I'm like, damn, I need more of the shit.
Fam, if you think you need more, what about us niggas who are actually recording it, bro? I wanted the Benzo part to go on. We kind of had to rush the topics, but
fam, I always laugh at Teaser. Teaser's like, now I'm gonna do a short one. Let's do a short one. I laugh. I'm like, okay.
We'll see. Cool. Next thing, no, but chance. Okay, one more thing, and then I wanted to say and. Then he gets his wine. Like, nigga, you're the one who says short episodes are dope. But yeah. Shout out to Teaser.
Final_T on the socials.
Check out my socials. But yeah, speaking of Zulu Nation, Zulu culture, and Zulu artists, Big Zulu.
Oh, did it again. Oh my God.
Holding it down.
Did it again. It's not as popular, obviously, but
you have to recognize
it's riding on the popularity. What I'm speaking about, guys, is that Big Zulu has a new single called Intlupego. It features, because I want to get the artists right, because I always get the lead artists.
And then the features.
And the features now. And they really kill the features. So
it'll look like, you don't want to look like those typical people in the media who just know the...
This guy is called Tutus.
Yeah. Give niggas their props. We don't look like those niggas.
Props.
We just know the main artists. And then
Wagwaba featured at some point, and we didn't know who Big Zulu is.
Yeah.
So when Big Zulu is putting people on, let's also not do the shits. Yeah. So Intlupego by Big Zulu featuring Tutuzi. If anyone has been following this pod long enough, they know that there's something called Radio Monitor, where they monitor what's been played on radio for the week and they do a chart. The most played, you're number one. Less played, you're number 100.
Yeah.
If you are played less than you can get to top 100, you don't get mentioned. You ain't shit.
So not you ain't shit. You trying. You doing your thing. You know you're holding it down.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Because we are also with our EP, we've been trying to get on that monitor shit.
Oh yeah.
So we are monitoring our plays like on radio with the Kutai EP.
Shout out to Kutai EP.
So,
R&B lovers, go check it out.
You already know, man. You me well. But so now we're to Big Zoo, the Tlupego, featuring Tutus. It's number 1 on radio. So that means that's the number 1 song on all radios. Not it's number 1 on all radio stations. When you aggregate how many times it's played across South Africa on radio, it's number 1.
That's no joke, bro.
And this is...
I do not want that smoke.
Yeah. And then he's like, end quotes, dash, Spank Daddy. I'm like, yo, this kid is amazing, dog. Like, and especially me, I got riled up like by the fans who were like agreeing with him and really going off. And I'm like, no. Then I got onto a thing. So now I took it a bit too hard.
I like Mahoota doesn't say, Albo doesn't take the bait, bro.
Yeah, but I took the bait. But when he comes with this humorous Spank Daddy shit, you can't help but just like,
that's what he fans.
You can't hate on this kid.
Niggas getting gassed.
Exactly.
More angry on behalf of the person. The niggas having fun with it, bro.
Exactly. He's like, hey, I don't want to like.
So shout out to Lil Home. Not Lil Home. Shout out to Nasty C. Let's put respect. He's the young. He's the young home. He's not Lil Home. He's doing big things. You know. Shout out to him. Shout out to his pod. You know.
Do we still have any time?
Or I'm keen to
No. As in, like, do we need to rap?
Yeah, we can wrap up.
Okay,
so
but
whatever you're about to do, you're about to close out.
Yes.
I hope and trust you ain't finna do a teaser. Like, wait, before we close out, how long are we in?
Well,
the homie.
Well, I think I kind of am a bit, but it's like an announcement.
Cool.
You see,
PSA.
A lot of people who are in the podcasting space, they will know Mashudu, Mesh is a Mesh startup. Yeah. Like he started like something like that where he was just pushing podcast
for a minute,
and he hasn't let up. Seemingly,
consistency
is going more and more. So these niggas have partnered with a company called. So he runs now the podcasting company, well, the media company that is running, which is pushing all of this, is called Luchta. You can find us there. They have a podcast directory, No Hidden Agenda. You can find it on there on luchta.com. Yeah. And now they partnered with these guys called Chimolohong Precinct. They are a vets university thing.
Okay.
I don't know what they are, but they are a West University kind of media, Shandes IT thing going on. And they're doing a collaborative effort. They're collaborating to build a community workspace and open podcast studio for creators. It's called Connect Studio. So basically, and I love the fact that there's someone who then went and asked, they're like, so it's open for artists. Like the first one, it's like, it's open for artists to rent the space timely. He's like, no rental. It's open for all creators and entrepreneurs who need it. It's a free space for creatives and entrepreneurs to be able to either go work, either go find like space to record a podcast. I'm sure this is now me adding on shit that they didn't tell me, but I'm sure if they're in the office, they're able to also advise some young creators on like some content and all of that kind of shit, because Mashudu has always been so upfront with helping creators. So I don't doubt that if he's in the space and you are doing your shit there, you are able to like speak to him also. So you guys must follow Luchta, the account Luchta, or follow Mesh Startup, M-A-S-H, Mesh Startup. Yeah. You're going to find all the information there, because obviously I'm sure there's going to be like booking things and you have to book and all of that kind of shit, you see. Yeah. So, yeah.
Shout out to Mesh, man.
Shout out to Mesh, man.
Had a quick look at the website. It looks hella dope. And also shout out to Vits, you know, whether it's people who invest in thing, who invest in the arts and content creation, the fact that someone had to ask, like, yo, how much do I pay is what people are assuming, what we're used to, that you have to pay, that you have to cover, that nothing's for free. But there's a lot of people making, even Amp Studios that we mentioned earlier. Amp Studios is by Old Mutual. It's in Newtown. It's Newtown. They put up that studio specifically to give creators a chance. You can record your podcast there. You can do interviews, do your YouTube, whatever. And it's already good to go. It's a creative workspace. So we applaud Amp Studios, Old Mutual, Mash Startup, anyone who's going out of their way to create spaces where creators can do their thing, because a lot of content creators, artists, people out there just want a chance. They're talented.
Yeah.
The potential's there. They just need a platform. The traditional way was always, if you're not one of the cream of the crop or top tier, if you ain't pretty as fuck, then good luck. You ain't finna get an opportunity. So these are moves to kind of level the playing field, give you an opportunity. So yeah, we appreciate because Mash has been this for a minute. I remember when we started our pod out the gate, he was putting us on.
Spoken to Mash at some point also.
Yeah, I know.
Some shit like he's very... Like he has connections with him also.
Yeah, I know Teaser P putting in their work on the
networking.
Number
one,
that's how we met.
Number fucking one, man.
Yeah, Teaser's the one reason why we had Mr. Nota Baloy on the pod. It was his birthday. Happy belated to Nota, the homie. Yeah. So anyway, as always, thank you for listening to the podcast, Mahoota. We held it down, the homies.
And I'm back.
Squad of twos, back out of isolation, back out of the bubble. Man of the match performance. Representing Zulu culture.
Zulu man with the power.
Zulu man with the podcast.
Oh shit, yeah!
And from there,
Zulu man with the podcast signing out.
This has been episode 96 of the No Hidden Agenda podcast. Catch us always on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and we are out. Peace. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The No Hidden Agenda with that. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The No Hidden